What's going on, everyone? So, De'Aaron Fox, not great, right? So, the San Antonio Spurs are going to be without De'Aaron Fox till probably November. They're hoping that he can return November 1st, which, if he can, that'd be great because he'd only miss, a couple games, like a handful of games, if that. But if he misses any extensive time, that hurts. And also, he's not going to be able to he's not going to be able to full-fledged training camp, full-fledged preseason, all of these things. And it's incredibly frustrating, right? Because you saw him get hurt last training camp with Sacramento with the ligament in his thumb. They ended up having to have surgery on. And now he's doing it again this training camp. And this training camp is the most important training camp for the Spurs in the De'Aaron Fox tenure, right? Because this is supposed to be the training camp and offseason in which you're trying to mold, build, and shape out how you want this team to look alongside De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. And oh yeah, by the way, you have a first time, your first year as a head coach. I know he coached last year, but this is when he's first taking the reins. He's the guy. There's not questions about is Pop coming back, is he not coming back, and everything. Hey, your team, you implement your things, you implement your philosophies, you implement your offensive schemes, your defensive sets, all of those things, right? This is going to be Mitch Johnson's first year where he's truly at the helm, right? And now you're going to be without your point guard, right? It's one thing if he was the, starting three. Right? It's okay, he's just kind of plugging in and he's going to get his shots and he's just got to get back into a rhythm, right? And to an extent, that's what De'Aaron Fox would need to do, kind of get back into a rhythm and all that stuff. But it's more than that because he's also the point guard. Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox's pick and roll was not great last year at all. Now, I don't think it's panic mode, but how do you get that to be good? Repetitions. You work on it every day in training camp. You work on it every day in preseason. You work on it every game in the regular season, right? And you get enough reps to where now it starts to mold and look good, right? De'Aaron Fox has not been a proven winner. And this is something I talked about when they traded for him. This is something I've talked about a lot this offseason, right? De'Aaron Fox with Sacramento had one good season and it was a first-round exit in the playoffs as the 2 seed, right? Outside of that, he's done nothing. And then the San Antonio Spurs traded for De'Aaron Fox and gave up nothing. Literally got him pennies on the dollar. And the Spurs got worse. Worse. Right? So, again, now, context matters. Context is important. It's really hard. So, it's easy to integrate a role player, right? Because it's hey, you know what you've done everywhere you've been? Yeah, do that. Right? It's hard to implement, a star or an all-star or a superstar because they're used to a certain usage rate, a certain play style, certain shot attempts, right? They're used to certain, privileges, right? Oh yeah, by the way, De'Aaron Fox is your starting point guard. So he needs to build chemistry. He needs to know and be able to play off a Wemby and where guys' shooting pockets and, building that chemistry and that understanding for these teams. That's a lot to figure out, right? And he just got the bag, all these things, and now he's going to miss the start of the season and training camp and all this other stuff. And, again, it's not the end of the world. It's not oh my God, Chicken Little, sky's falling, get rid of him now type thing. But it's frustrating for a guy that I think has a lot to prove, is supposed to be having this breakout season or this, re-emergent season. And you need to build that chemistry, and this is probably the most important training camp of De'Aaron Fox's time with the San Antonio Spurs, and he's not going to be ready. He's not going to be able to play to the level that you need him to play, and all these things. It's just, that's not good for the Spurs team, right? And we'd be lying to ourselves if we pretended like it was. This is not something, this is not good. This is not a good sign that 2 straight off seasons in a row, De'Aaron Fox has gotten hurt and had to miss time. Right? And yeah, he played through the ligament and stuff and you don't want to rush him back and you want to do this stuff. But you're in the Western Conference, one. which is so incredibly tight, so incredibly insane, so incredibly competitive that like every game matters in the West. And you're already going to, be at a disadvantage to an extent to some of these other teams because you are so young. You're trying to figure some stuff out. You're trying to learn some stuff, trying to build chemistry and the style of play. And you got a new head coach that's trying to implement things and do all this stuff. Like, there's a lot going on with the Spurs and for the Spurs. So it's a lot that you got to kind of get through and navigate early on in the season. You're supposed to kind of use the early part of the season to figure that out. Obviously, you want to get as many games as you can, even in the early stages, but you're kind of trying to navigate all those things. And then you now don't have your starting point guard, who is your second best player, who is the guy that's going to have the ball in his hands all game, who is the guy that's supposed to kind of help elevate this team further with you and Victor Wembanyama being the two guys, 1A, 1B, whatever. And now you don't have him. And it's like you already have a ton of question marks in regards to De'Aaron Fox. And then now you don't have, like, it's just, it's frustrating, right? Because it's like, this is supposed to be the time in which you're working on the things that you need to work on, building the things that you need to build on, right? Creating and establishing those good habits and helping dissolve some of the bad ones. So that way you can be the best version of yourself and the best version of this team possible. And now you're going to be without your leader because De'Aaron Fox is supposed to be the leader. He's the veteran. He's the all-star point guard. Just got a max contract, all that stuff. And look, Spurs are, they're going to be as cautious and whatnot for him as possible. And you don't want to rush him back. And, the target date is November 1st, but like, I wouldn't be shocked if he comes back, if he misses another week or two after that, because the Spurs aren't going to want to rush him back. But it's just, again, it's a lot of, like, even between now and November 1st, you're talking a whole month of time that you would have been able to kind of build and grow and develop all those things. And now you don't. You don't get those things. That's a whole month that you're losing for it. And obviously, again, it's not like he hurt himself on purpose or he's trying to, miss time on purpose or anything like that. Like, you can't control it. It is what it is. But it doesn't mean that it's like, oh, like everything's good. No, it's still frustrating. It's still not a good look for the Spurs team. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And hopefully he can kind of, get caught up a little bit here. Time will tell. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? Agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mix in the middle. What do you think of De'Aaron Fox and the injury? But that being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you all in the next one.